Yo, what's good? Freedom family, freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, freedom fighters. How y'all doing this Saturday afternoon? It is Saturday, June 10th, 2023. And I'm on the road back to South Carolina. Spend some time with my family. And I wanted to talk about this particular situation from a different angle. From a different angle. So, I'll give you guys a minute to come into the building before I push forward with my commentary and my opinions and all that good shit. Talk about this here situation. Give you a little bit of a, different perspective. Give you something else to think about. Something that, but this whole thing with the China and the Mexican cartels teaming up to do all type of different things in the drug trade, slave labor and all that good stuff. We can get into that a little bit, and we can talk about why this might be happening, how long it's been happening, and are we really surprised? Like, is this really news? That's what we need to get into. I agree, Ken Gar-J. ABL's video was a little dramatic, but not really. It was a lot of, it was real, but it's like, we have to understand that this is nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. For those of you who may not be aware, back in April, there were a lot of busts, right? A lot of arrests and whatnot involving Chinese illegals and nationals and whatnot getting known to be mixed up with the Mexican cartels in regards to smuggling and dealing marijuana and precursor chemicals, right? Precursor chemicals. We're talking about for maybe fentanyl, right? Precursor chemicals, all that good shit. They had people, involved in slave labor, all this good shit. And this is not something that's very surprising, okay? Not something that's very surprising, especially when you think back to that time during Donald Trump's presidency, where multiple Chinese people got caught trying to fly over the border, okay? And they were coming from Mexico, trying to fly over the border into the United States. They got caught, okay? And, it brings me back to that point in time. I believe I did a video on that. And essentially, there's something that we need to understand about our position in the world. Our position in the world as a country, the United States. Unfortunately, we have a government that uses its military to push its weight around and to terrorize and destabilize other regions of the world and essentially make us enemies of the world unless you're part of, the alliance, right? And of course, there's a crash report ahead, whatever. Unless you're a part of that alliance, you pretty much hate the United States. We know China doesn't like the United States. We know Russia doesn't like the United States. Iran, Iraq, Libya, before they took down those leaders and destabilized those regions. Then you got Mexico. You think Mexico likes the United States? No, no. Mexico does not like us. Neither do any other South American countries where they feel like, we extract so much wealth from these countries in terms of natural resources, and we're living so pretty on our high horse over here in the United States and all that good shit. We have to understand that the issue isn't that China and Mexico coming together and, exploiting the United States, basically exploiting the people of the United States that are addicted to drugs and all that stuff, using slave labor. That's an issue, right? Using slave labor is an issue. That is an issue that, these people need to be eradicated for, right? Yeah. But we have to think about what else are they doing aside from that, right? What other branches of this alliance between the Mexican cartels and China, what other things are they doing? Are they just over here to make some money off the people of the United States of America? Or is there another agenda, right? Is there another agenda? Chinese have been coming over here since they've been doing the railroad shit, okay? They've been coming over here. Wasn't too much beef with the United States until, I'll say, the Korean War, okay? We got into it. China participated in that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All that shit. And now China is trying to step up to be the ultimate superpower, right? That's why they're forming alliances with the likes of Russia, South Africa, India, BRICS, that whole situation. What is, I forgot what the B was. Russia, India, China, South Africa, and then I forgot what it was. Forgive me. But China is trying to be the ultimate superpower. So they are aligning themselves with other countries. But they're not just aligning themselves with those countries. They have been fucking around in South America. They have been fucking around in Jamaica. They have been fucking around in other Caribbean countries and South American countries. And also in Mexico. This shit has been going on for a very long time. China has been listen, China's everywhere doing all kind of shit. They're in the United States doing all kind of shit. They're getting researchers and shit there to, working for China in the United States. Professors of colleges are working for China. Different people that belong to certain organizations within the United States are working with China. Now we find out Mexico is fucking around with China in regards to slanging dope. But that's not it. That's not it. You see, let me paint a picture. Let's say China has an agenda to take over the United States, right? Well, when they come over here, they are heavily scrutinized and they're watched. Listen, understand this. Our government watches these Chinese people, Chinese nationals that come over here legally, that start businesses. Trust me, they watch them, okay? They arrested people in New York trying to have a police station. They know about their activities. The activities that China wants them to know about, they know about it. But there are a lot of things going on under the radar that the Chinese are doing, not with other Chinese people. See, if they're not going to group up as Chinese people and form a splinter cell, because again, they're being watched heavily. No, they're going to use these immigrants. Okay? They're going to use these immigrants. You see, the immigrants are flooding all over the place. They're overcrowding New York, they're overcrowding Chicago. They're getting money, right? These immigrants are getting money. Chicago put aside $51 billion for a number of immigrants, right? They're getting money. They're getting bread. They're getting housing. They're getting all kind of shit. These immigrants. So it's not just the Mexican cartels, right? You got people coming over here from all over the world. All over the world. And what is our government doing? They're like, oh, come on through. Come on, you guys. Yeah, we'll put you up here. We'll put you up there. And now, and you got the New York mayor, Eric Adams, that he's going to try to convince people to house immigrants in their private homes for money, exploiting people's poverty, right? You're on a poverty level where, okay, you can still afford some housing, you know what I'm saying? But imagine that. The New York mayor is going to ask people to house immigrants that are coming over here illegal, that are getting shipped and bused to their fucking state. They're being bused to their city. You understand what I'm saying? The guy, you know, like, where do they do that at? Where they do that at? You never see a mayor or any a politician asking their constituents to house homeless people, American homeless people, American citizens. They're not asking people to house, stranded children or runaway children. No, they keep their ass in group homes and they keep their asses in the system, you know what I'm saying, for as long as possible. Yeah, they might give up kids to, they might allow kids to be adopted, but they're not talking about this on such a large scale. You're talking about without any thought, without any rumination, just, hey, you know what? Let's have you people house these immigrants. Let the churches do it. We'll give y'all some money. Oh yeah, we'll pay y'all. But will it be enough? So imagine these people are spreading out all over the place. Trust me, I believe that there is a huge Chinese presence in Mexico, in Venezuela, in different countries. Matter of fact, there's 3 Venezuelans that are working on my job right now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if they're illegal immigrants. 3 of them speak pretty good English. But anyway, you got these people. China has a huge presence in motherfucking Mexico. It's not an openly huge presence. No, they're not going to, you know what I'm saying? Because it's too close. Now, I don't have any evidence of this. This is not what I've been told. But just based on things that have happened throughout the years, okay? The fact that there are a lot of Chinese immigrants illegally coming over here, they are coordinating something big in Mexico, okay? And they're bringing people in here, and when China's ready to make a move and snap a finger and do the step, and they can do it all about it, just kidding. They're not only going to be activating Chinese nationals, all right? No. Those Chinese nationals might be a distraction. No, they're going to activate all these immigrants that they have been able to recruit down in Mexico via the cartels. Because these people have to go through the cartels. They have to go through the cartels, and the cartels get them into the country. Believe that China is communicating and conspiring with the Mexican cartels to get as many people in here as possible to destabilize. Look, it's not going to be like an outright attack. They're not going to pull guns out of their waist and start blasting people. No. That's not what's going to happen. Okay, you understand? It's not. As a matter of fact, I think China has already snapped the finger. No, they are here to destabilize our economy, put a strain on the system, right? And weaken the country from within. So that they can do what? Well, they're going to stretch the resources in the United States. They're going to destabilize our economy, which we already have an unstable economy anyway. But when you had all these mouths to feed, all these people to shelter, all these children that have to go into the school system, you're talking about straining resources that we don't have, increasing our debt. Your children and your children's children are going to be paying for all these motherfucking immigrants to come over here and just take up shit, just get shit, just like that. And people have a problem with black people asking for reparations. But these illegal immigrants get free money. They get free money just for coming over here illegally. They haven't contributed anything to this country, to this economy. You understand what I'm saying? Yet, they get all this money. But what do they tell you? Oh, well, Mexicans and this, that, and the third, they work harder than, they take all the jobs y'all don't want. That's not fucking true. It's not true at all. No. We want the jobs, but we want them for the wages that we deserve, or that we feel we deserve, that we can negotiate for. We can't negotiate if you just gonna hire any old body off the street. That, oh well, he's gonna be, we can pay him $10 to $12 cheaper, and we'll hire a bunch of them, and we'll just throw it at the project, or we'll throw it at this, throw it at that, and it's gonna get right somehow. You understand what I'm saying? Their goal, and this is something that so long ago, I forgot, it was so long, it was an article, this was before I was doing YouTube, before I had a YouTube channel. There was this article where China, and they're taking a different approach with Africa, because Africa is just like, yeah, come on, China, invest. Come on over here, build roads, do this, do that. Build your little outpost, whatever, do what you got to do. Well, we're not doing that. We're allowing them to do certain shit. Yeah, you can have private enterprise here. You can buy some land, all that. But you're not just going to start building bridges and no. You don't see Chinese people. You don't see Chinese companies, Chinese contractors building out here. No, you don't see that. But you see it in Jamaica. You see it in Africa. You see it in other countries. No, they can't do that. So China has to take a little bit of a different approach. But China was talking about how, and this is when they started going into Africa real heavy, and they started doing having a lot of activity in Africa. They liken themselves to a particular virus that makes the host believe that they belong there, right? And the cells, they get the cells, like the immunity cells, I'm talking about the immune system, to believe, oh yeah, we're a part of you, we're here for you, blah, blah, blah. And then they start destroying the host from within. China was talking about that in regards to Africa. This Chinese official, I forgot, it was so long ago, it was an article I read in an actual magazine, when actual magazines were a thing. Again, back in like 2000, like late 2000s, like maybe 2008, 2007, somewhere around there, 2006. Again, where magazines were still, in your hand and all the other shit, and you could turn the page. Back in those days. Okay, I forgot what the virus is called. I forgot what the name of the article was, but I'm sure if you Google it, you can find it. But that's what they talked about. But they can't do that so much in the United States. They can't. They can't do that so much in the United States. But what they can do is they can get all these, they can coordinate. You got to coordinate. They could coordinate an invasion of immigrants into this country. Take advantage of the fact that the Biden administration is like, yeah, come on, guys, come on in. Come one, come all, right? I mean, let's say Donald Trump becomes president and then he does something about the border. It's going to be too fucking late. Unless he starts going into these cities and all that other shit and just start snatching motherfuckers up and get them out of here. But see, We're talking about the left-right paradigm. We're talking about the left-right paradigm lie, the Kabuki theater. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it is too late. That's what I think. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. And then you got all these people coming into the country where 2 years ago they were so up in arms about the Modelo 19 and spreading the Modelo 19 and all this other shit. Now they're like, oh yeah, let's just overcrowd everywhere. Let's overcrowd everything. Let's overcrowd our cities, our transportation systems. Let's do all that. Let's crowd people into houses and pay the owners of these houses and the renters to take these people in. So we're not just talking about economic destabilization, are we? Understand this. I'm getting into real conspiracy theory territory here. And y'all need to share this out. Real conspiracy theory territory. But listen to this. What happened back in 2019 toward the end of the year? Well, things started happening in China. Something happened at a wet market, so they said. Boom, what happened? Oh, well, there was some type of thing going around that were infecting people. And China particularly, that's where it started. Chinese people started falling out all over the place. Then it came to the United States. They called that thing a certain thing that started with a C. Okay? And for 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years, what did they do? They blamed it on a bat at a wet market. And think about how fast they were able to discover bat zero. You know how you have patient zero, ground zero, where the shit began. They were so quick to discover ground zero. It was just like that. Oh, it was at a wet market. It was from a bat that was brought from thousands of miles away in this jungle. Like, come on. No way they found bat zero that quickly. Hell, when China started showing videos of people falling out, we didn't know what the fuck is going on. And then like a month later, a few weeks later, oh, it was a bat. Yeah, it was a bat at a wet market. Like, do we think about shit? They didn't even know what the fuck it was. They hadn't even isolated it yet. How, you didn't even isolate the thing. But you're sitting up here talking about, oh, it was for sure a bat in a wet market. Yeah, I know the Wuhan lab for virology was right down the street, but no, that's not where it came from. So for 2 years they were saying, oh, well, the absurd, if you said anything about a Wuhan lab, and then what do we discover from the Department of Energy? And the FBI confirms that the Modelo 19 was likely started in the lab in Wuhan. And who was funding that lab in Wuhan? We were, the American people. Yeah, they're going to tell you the NIH was. No. NIH is part of the government. The government don't get no money but from us. They don't produce anything. There's no way they can make their own money. No, they get the money from us. So we paid for this lab to perform these tests, these gain of function research tests, to make the thing more infectious to human beings, even though there was no crossover whatsoever. So why are we taking a thing that has no crossover potential, giving it crossover potential to discover this, to see if it's going to happen? Like, what are you doing here? Why are you taking away evolutionary steps from the virus to be able to infect humans and think that is going to be a good fucking thing? We need to think. So, what does this have to do with the Mexicans and the Chinese? I'm going to tell you. Hold on to your motherfucking seats. All right? Now we discover, oh, well, the China, this here virus thing came from the Wuhan lab in China. That's we're pretty damn sure about that. That's what the Department of Energy of the United States said. That's what the FBI confirms. Yeah, it likely came from the Wuhan lab. Well, whose coat do we have to fucking hang for having us, trying to have us believe that it was from a fucking wet market? Who's going to pay the price for that one? Who is going to pay the consequences for all this shit? For all the lockdowns that were completely unnecessary that they're now saying. Right? They're admitting, oh, these lockdowns, they didn't do shit but harm. The motherfucking face flag wearing face flag. We know that was fucking bogus. I told y'all that months after the motherfucking shit was mandated. I told y'all. What did I say? 70-something% of those individuals who always wore a mask and got Modelo 19 end up in the hospital. 2% of the people who caught the infection ended up in the hospital were people who always wore a mask, never wore a mask. So if you never wore a mask, you had a 2% chance of being hospitalized with the Modelo 19. But the people who always wore a mask, 71% chance that they will end up in the hospital. What did that tell me? That not only the mask is bogus, it don't work, but it can make your condition worse if you're always wearing that shit. And it's only common sense, because why are you not getting the fucking fresh air? You're recycling your own air into your motherfucking lungs, and you're getting a little bit of oxygen from the outside, but you're still breathing in all the bacteria that you're expelling, all these other chemicals and all this other shit that your body's getting rid of. You're breathing that back in. Anyway, let me go on. Let me not digress any further. What relevance does this have? Well, what are they doing? They're allowing people to flood this fucking country. They're sending people all these crowded cities, right? They're busting them in, and the leaders of these cities and these states, what do? Oh well, let's throw money at them. Let's give them some money. Let's give them some housing. Let's crowd our cities even more. Now we're talking about the same people that complain about overpopulation and climate this and climate that, but let's overpopulate our city even further, right? Makes a lot of sense. The same people that tell you that we're overpopulated want to overpopulate their very own city and fuck off their fucking constituents. They ain't got to deal with anything. Eric Adams going to have to live with some goddamn immigrants? Hell no. He's not going to take these people in. No, not at all. Not need I remind you, Eric Swalwell, the senator out of California, or was he a congressman? Eric Swalwell, I think he's a congressman or senator, one of the two. Don't forget, they found out he was banging a Chinese spy. Allegedly. Allegedly, he was getting in with a Chinese. Well, cannot be the only person that goddamn man. Yo, like for real, YouTube. Fuck on my connection, and now you're taking away my motherfucking live chat members. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm gonna keep cooking. So, Eric Swalwell cannot be the only motherfucker they got caught up with a Chinese spy. All right? Imagine, what has she learned from this man? What has she been able to get this man to do in the position he's in? He's not the only one. So, what does the virus that came out of China have to do with this? Well, they got all these people coming into this country, right? We don't know what the fuck they got. They come up from all kind of countries. They're not getting all these shots. They're not doing this and that. They're not getting tested for diseases. None of these things are happening. They're not getting tested. We don't know what they got. Well, they're not getting tested until they're already in the fucking country. Maybe, if that. So, what did the World Health Organization say? They said, well, the next pandemic is going to be much deadlier. Okay? The next pandemic is going to be much more deadly. So that could be another thing, right? That could be another attack vector for the Chinese. Let's send another deadly disease up in this motherfucking country. But this time, it's going to be worse. And they're taking all these people in with open arms. They didn't forget about social distancing. They didn't forget about washing your hands for 20 seconds. They didn't forget about all this, that, and the third, spraying this down with this sanitizer, that, and the third. They didn't forget all about that shit. No, yeah, they forgot about that. Hell, they even stopped pushing the hokey pokey so much. And that's another thing that didn't work, right? And in fact, the hokey pokey probably caused more harm than good, according to a mountain of evidence, if you just know where to look. I don't know, man. So for me, it goes beyond fentanyl and marijuana, right? And it even goes beyond the slave trade that they're doing. That's horrible enough. Yeah, that's bad. No, that's just one avenue of attack for the Chinese. The Chinese are not just thinking about one vector of attack. They're thinking about multiple vectors of attack. The drug thing is just a good way to make some money, to turn the people of America into zombies. So, something to chew on, guys. Something to chew on. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. This live stream ain't really going nowhere, I guess. But I just wanted to give a quick little my thoughts on this China and Mexican cartel thing. And what about the Mexican cartel? Well, they're helping to facilitate it. Perhaps, right? The Chinese is working with the Mexican cartels. And what do the Mexican cartels get out of it? Well, when they destabilize this country enough, well, we're going to be vulnerable, and they're going to be able to come in and take over. Maybe that's a promise that China has given them. Maybe that's a dream that China is selling them. Once we get America right where we want them, you will go in, and you will take over the country, and you will be in charge. All right, let's see. You got it. Easy peasy, right? Sounds like a motherfucking movie. I know. That's just how my mind works. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very creative individual, particularly with storytelling and whatnot. I'm a good storyteller. I am a good storyteller, and that's just something that I see. That's how my mind works. I see these different plot points and different arcs that could take place. But at the same time, I'm not too far off the mark a lot of the times. When it comes to my storytelling, I'm not too far off the mark. And you would know that if you read my book and went and got my book off of Amazon. The Seeds of Dark Matter Disease, right now on Amazon. It has excellent reviews. It hasn't sold a lot. I haven't sold a lot of books, of course, because I don't really promote it that well, if at all. I might mention it once every 2 years or once every 6 months or something like that. But I do have a book on Amazon called The Seeds of Dark Matter Disease. Great story, great characters, good story development, good world, good character development, all that good shit. A lot of fun, a lot of good action. You know what I'm saying? Very emotionally heavy. Very emotionally heavy. Like, there's a lot of emotion in this book. Okay, so it's not just like all action. No, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of humanness in this book. You might cry a few times reading this book. It can get heavy at certain points, but it's a dope ass book, if I do say so myself. And I am in the process, even though I haven't typed one word in months into part 2 of The Seeds of Dark Matter, which will be called Decay. Okay, right now at this point in time, it's going to be called that. The first book, The Seeds of Dark Matter Disease, The Seeds of Dark Matter Decay, and The Seeds of Dark Matter the third book. See, I was going to do a trilogy, but I might end up having to do a saga, right? Based on where the story is going, and I have a lot of plans for this book. So, just if you guys want to read a good story. Anyway, the Sea of Dark Matter disease. But this whole thing that I'm talking about with China and the Mexican cartel, I like to think beyond what we're being shown, right? We're being shown, oh, well, yeah, they're working with the cartels to sell drugs. No, there is a bigger game. There is a bigger end goal in mind for China. It's very clear to me that they want to destroy America, and become the leading superpower, you know. And so that they're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. And the United States government and the United States is in its way. And yeah, that's what we're looking at. But imagine that, though. Imagine that. The WHO, the World Health Organization, told us the next pandemic is going to be more deadly than the last. And we got all these people flooding the country from all these different fucking countries, right? All these different countries with diseases and bacteria and viruses that we've never seen in our life. And they're coming here. And they're getting just flooding through the border. Oh, let's go up in that. And they going into these cities. Something to think about, huh? Anyway, I'm out of here. Much love, like, share, subscribe, and yeah, we're gonna keep marching forward toward freedom.